Oh, hello. This is 3020 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these magnificent, wonderful, and marvelous people have agreed to join me to play a game tonight, and that makes me very happy. So, let's get to the people. The first of the people, because they're first into Zoom, is Sarah. Oh, got your links ready?
Oh,
You professional, you?
I was actually,
You
yes,
could. Wow.
did
Send
this.
help. All right. So, there's some
I
links.
do
Tell
have
us
my
all about
links ready,
yourself.
unlike Sunday. Um, yeah. I'm my name's Sarah. I'm over on Tango Productions. We are going to be posting stuff pretty soon. I'm working with the Scarred Adventurer on Bravely Broken, and that is a lot of fun. Hopefully, things will come out soon. I know there's stuff coming out on the Instagram
Nice.
relatively.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I'm not in charge of the Instagram. This is why.
All right, cool. What else are you doing? He asked leadingly.
I keep forgetting to
Mm-hmm.
talk about all
Yeah.
the times that I'm here.
Yes.
I am here tonight as Elizabeth slash Amanda Beth. I am here on Thursdays and I run Deviant Futures. I
Yes.
am here on Fridays. I play the French aristocrat Vic.
If.
Uh, and on Sundays, I play Bite.
Yes. So see, look, all those things. Um,
I didn't
so
forget anything.
so thank you for all of that.
I always forget.
It's all right. I'm here to prompt you. It's one of my many functions. Uh, Next, let's talk to Shadowmancer. Thank you for joining us. Whereabouts can we find you? What are you doing?
All right. I am the true Shadowmancer, also known as Shadow. You can find me on the channel here for Dirty 20 Gaming. I can speak English. Uh, uh, on Thursdays, I am in Deviant Futures as Wooja, the cranky Fey Undead. On Sundays, I am the ship's doctor, Gerard St. Germain.
Yes.
And I think that's all that I'm doing right now. I'm also founders of DDR, which is Desperate Dice Rollers. And again, one of these days, I'll get you guys my Discord links so folks can come join us over there as well.
That would be very cool. Pop them there. Also, please do pop them into our Discord, which is my excuse to slip this in here. Except I probably just put it in the wrong spot. Yep, I did. I put it in our chat. Okay, here we go.
And yes, Gloriosa, as opposed to the fake Shadowmancer.
Yes, the fake Shadowmancer.
Because there are a couple of them out there, I will find them.
Yes. But please do join us in our Discord, one of the friendliest places on the net. The click is right there, and I'm not BSing you. It is a magical, wonderful, and supportive place, and I could not be happier than to be part of that. Well, seeing as how you're flapping your typewriter lips in chat, we'll do you next. Amethyst, thank you for joining us, and where can we find you? What else are you doing?
Kind of been taking a break from my MMOs lately, but League of Legends, I got a whole bunch of tabletop games I'm playing in various places, but mostly you can find me here.
Excellent.
Tuesday night.
Wonderful, thank you. And that brings us around to the Marshal, the boss, the guy who has to say whether we get away with stuff or not. The person I probably should have sent presents to, considering some of my plans for this evening, but I didn't, so I'll just sing them in. Na 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 bat cow.
Hello, hello. You can, of course, find me here on Tuesdays until we wrap up this last hurrah. Trying my best to herd these cats. And then on Mondays, we recently started, Grave New World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG, with my wonderful better half, Blaze of Gloriosa, Mana Queen, and Ed, as well. Yeah, and run by Chris. Fantastic time. Can't wait to dive into that a little more.
Yep.
Besides that, sometimes I mod on the channel of the aforementioned better half, Blaze of Gloriosa, link in there. And besides that, don't perceive me.
Excellent. Speaking of not perceiving you, the art was provided by Hero Forge, and that's all I got to say about that. Please, if you would be so kind, Marshall, as to take us away.
Of course. When last we left things, the party had managed to kill the horrible but snazzily dressed leech people after, possibly one of the worst thought out plans in the history of planning had been done, which is let's split the party entirely.
We had a plan.
I think that's as far as it got, and poor Amanda Beth got to know what it's like to be inside the mouth of a leech person for a little bit. So,
Yep.
If therapy was a thing here, she'd probably need that, but we're good. And
actually, you could technically give them a point of grit, couldn't you?
I could.
Just a thought. Okay.
I thought about it.
I blurted
yes,
that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said such a thing. I am a mere player sitting here at the table waiting for the game to start.
No. I know I present a front of, absolutely knowing what I'm doing at all times and having total control over the situation. But it's all a mask. And so I appreciate little reminders of bumps like that. Kevin, don't hurt yourself. That aside, after, exposing the killers to the sheriff and the priest who had originally hired Irene, to find the killers, they went through the clothing of said now kind of gooey leech people and found a key to the gold rush, which is thought to be where Honest John is. If nothing else, it's kind of strange that leech people have a hotel key. And that's where we left it.
Yeah.
Over to you guys.
Well, we left Irene in town, right? And the rest of us buggered off back to camp?
She did follow.
Or you came along as well? Okay.
Well, I think Irene came along later because she did have to come out to tell Warren Bang that she threw him under the bus. But
yes, yes, thank you. That is wonderful, marvelous, and I've had a whole week to think about it. So thank you in advance
probably went back to town
for what's about to happen. But yeah.
And do recall as well that once again, Bang left some of the Holy Spirit unaccounted for, and it vanished.
Yep. That is true. And the most of the night before's shenanigans were based on a mad priest. So yeah.
All right, so you have reconvened while Edward is still futzing around with chemicals and the fallout of futzing around with chemicals, at least until we can get Nick back to join us again. That
Yes.
poor guy. You have a key. Do you have a plan?
No.
Yeah.
Last time we had a plan, it backfired on us.
It didn't backfire if it didn't. It
What?
only backfires if it didn't work.
And the plan before that probably backfired, but I wasn't there for that one.
The nice thing about plans that backfire is nobody expects that.
Right. Well,
has anybody seen a bag of potatoes? What I'm really looking for is just a mesh, like a, what do they call it? Not macrame, but the...
Like cheesecloth?
Yeah, almost. What I'm looking for is the old potato bags. They got the...
burlap.
Burlap, that's the word, yeah. Looking for burlap bags. Is there any of those around here? Anybody seen those?
I'm assuming there's some around here. If nothing else, probably with the sundries.
Okay, I'll go see if I can find one. I want to make, like, literally cut a hole in the top and 2 holes in the art, like here for the arms. I'm hoping it still has the logo for the potato company on the front. Like a team logo for football. The Idaho Spuds or wherever they're from. PEI in Canada, but yeah, they're never would have got here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's my new outfit. Goggles off. For the first time you'll ever see Bang's actual eyes. He's had the goggles on the whole time. They're actually kind of bright green. Not like...
Holy shit, Bang has eyes?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
You do find half a bag of potatoes in the sundries, but they're actually in a bag labeled Schmeckler's Beans instead of the potato company. So
even
somebody
better,
just
I'm
obviously
supposed to be
repurposed.
mad. And yeah, I'll cut up the bean bag. If it doesn't cover all my beans, I'll continue to wear pants.
Oh god.
It does not quite cover the pork and beans.
Okay, yeah, because
So
there's going to
you're-
be gesturing while it's on, so yeah.
But Bang, what is your plan?
I'm gonna be a mad priest, and I'm gonna threaten brimstone. And I hold up and wave a bottle of the Holy Spirit, and the very breath of God, and hold up the death rock and a canteen of water. But I need to look crazy as I'm cutting holes in this bean-smelling potato bag.
Or is it a potato smelling beanbag?
I can't tell. My sense of smell has been absolutely shot since I've been addicted to the ghost rock. Which is probably the first time he's ever admitted out loud that it was an addiction and not a love affair. Yeah, sorry.
Well then, we have a key, but we don't know if Honest John is actually there, or if those two individuals were simply in his employ and staying there.
Either way.
They
Oh, I'm sorry.
they
Go
said
ahead.
they were working for him.
Yeah.
So
Well, what about if there was a religious distraction and the rest of you broke into his room to see what the hell's in there? Whether it's theirs or his, you could probably learn a lot in there.
And getting into the room would be an optimal plan. Just getting in there unnoticed.
And that's where I come in, and I pull the bean thing on and start sliding my arms out of the holes. I'm going to make I almost said speech, that's the wrong, a sermon. Oh, yeah. It's too bad they don't have like a thing that sprays water, because then I could do a sermon on the fount.
My concern, my wily friend, is if this change might be a little too close to the father.
Oh, no, he wasn't crazy. Oh, you probably weren't here. I told Irene before, I used to be an actor.
Ah. Well then.
He's Clark Kenton it over here like he's taking his glasses off. You don't know who he is now, right? He's taking his goggles off.
Sometimes the simplest changes are the most effective changes.
Yep, you can turn bad things into a blessing if you're just crazy enough.
Irene, are you still able to get into the casino area without raising any eyebrows?
I hope you're talking to somebody else, because I don't think I can get within seeing range of a gopher without an eyebrow going up.
I was speaking directly to Irene, but yes.
I was assuming she was in town for this conversation, but
Oh, I thought she was had already joined us.
I mean, she goes back and forth a lot.
Well, we could say Irene had breakfast and was seen and then just left town and meandered to where she knew everybody else was going to be.
All right.
And just real quick, Brother Bangus, Sans is not Marshall Bat Kyle.
Please no.
Unless you want
Please
to start.
no.
The frames are.
The stream.
Oh, the
stream-
pictures are.
stream
Oh,
frames
oh,
are
I see where okay, all right. Watch this.
Yeah,
Oops, no,
apparently I
oh,
don't
that's
have
worse. You go over
There's
there.
probably half the party that's wrong.
I think this is it.
Oh,
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, wait a minute. There, on stream now.
not
Nope.
quite.
Nope. I'm apparently Moses
No,
now.
you're Moses. Oh, damn it.
Amanda Beth is Mo Lester, and Mo Lester is Amanda Beth.
No. We are not.
I mean, that's not as terrifying as Marshall Angus.
That's true.
Swoosh, there we go. Feast. That is
Perfect.
all Marshall Kyle's fault for going away and coming back just before the show. And then it's all my fault for not noticing. Thank you, chat.
Thank
Right.
you, chat.
All right.
Thank you, chat.
I mean,
Please
if I
no.
do get noticed,
Now you know it's live.
it might. If I do get noticed from breaking into that room, what might get back on is Sean. Associate me with you lot at least, or at least put me on his radar. Could have Amanda Beth go in.
I mean, I can.
Yeah, because sending Amanda Beth off on their own has never gone poorly.
I mean, we're also sending Bang off on his own.
Can't stop that.
But that's for everyone's safety except for mine.
And well, even if we didn't plan on Bang being on his own, Bang would eventually somehow be on his own.
Kind of what he does.
Bang is fine on his own. Everyone else is not fine with Bang on his own.
You can tell we're friends because I keep coming back.
That is how that little saying goes, isn't it?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Well then,
So I distract all the ones outside, and Amanda distracts all the ones inside. How are we going to split the last two of you up?
They could go look in the room.
I
Yeah.
don't think any.
Someone keeping watch. Someone actually searching around.
Well, you're not breaking in. You got a key. And there's going to be
So-
lots of distractions, so just walk in like you own the place. The owner is either dead or not here. Or not the owner, the person who's supposed to have that key is either dead in that alley or they're not here yet.
There's the third option.
They're waiting in the room for you, but that doesn't really affect me because I'm going to be out in the street.
It's like, what if there were more than two?
Well, this will be the way that we find out. Because what we need to know behind the door that key opens. And while I appreciate an abundance of caution, I think we are very rapidly approaching the point where caution will no longer be in our benefit, but to our detriment.
Yeah.
I mean, Irene, I know we aren't that close, but is there a way that you could possibly go like undercover? Act like you're part of the hotel staff? And then when you get to that room, you find out who's in it. You could just come out and tell us.
I mean, if y'all can get your hands on a uniform, wouldn't be too hard to impersonate one of those fine gentlemen.
Either way, the two of you probably shouldn't have too hard a time getting in there. Look over at Amanda. I assume you're going to like go in there and strip or something?
I do believe that would raise a bit more of a ruckus than we are intending to
Oh,
invoke.
I do
That-
tend to kind of overdo shit.
Yeah, it might draw away from your performance.
After all, we're not going in.
That sounds like a challenge. Anyway,
All right,
that's okay.
Irene,
She
since
can just
you-
go in there and blush at him. I'm sure that'll do it.
I mean, I still have plenty of bottles. I can make maybe
Oh.
something up.
Amanda, have you ever considered being a bartender? I know there's no labels on any of them, so you could just hand them out like shooters. It would certainly be distracting. I'm so close to laughing I can't even do the voice.
Well, while you're trying to master yourself, Irene, can you give me a smarts roll?
Maybe. Let's see. Oh dear, it's a D6.
And the wild die, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
gonna give it a +2 even
Ooh.
on this one for what I'm having you.
Uh, so about those blue chips I drew. So that's a 1 and a 6.
I love it.
You got a 1 and a 6.
Oh, I wanted a 2 I drew.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oops. Yeah, roll and add a d6 if you want to burn a red chip.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
And a blue chip even.
and it's a
Blue chip
blue, so
even.
they don't.
Yep.
Yeah, so they don't get they don't get one back. So
That's twin threes.
With
So
the plus
three,
2,
so
that'll get you a 5.
11
So that's
total.
1 success.
That's a rolling.
Oh, 11.
I
11,
add a
so actually-
D6. Does that
Oh,
make
yeah.
it 8?
yeah. So
You got enough successes to remember that a lot of the kind of what passes for upscale in Tombstone establishments all use the Sunshine Laundry Company services. There's a launderer. They handle a lot of washerwomen. It's a busy place, so it's not going to be easy necessarily to get what you're after in there, but they have the contracts for most of the hotel linens and even some of the nicer homes here just contract out for their washing services rather than have staff do it because getting all that water together in Tombstone's kind of a pain in the ass.
Could provide a distraction with Amanda Beth providing some new cleaning chemicals.
that ain't hard at all. And she'll actually go through her bag and look and pull out a very a white substance, and this can get blood out of clothes.
Make a sales pitch and they'll probably eat it right up. Especially around these bars.
So that's 3 distractions and Lester going into the room.
That's what it appears.
Because this is kind of canon now, at least in my head, Amanda Beth, call odds or evens.
Odds.
Okay, I'll just file that away for later.
Oh, no.
So
All right,
I was
then.
gonna
Well,
say the other thing it probably can yeah, I'll just say if it isn't what I think it is, then you won't be having blood in your body if you touch this thing.
Hmm. Maybe don't give a live demonstration.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
so start patting the bags that I'm carrying, and I've got 4 bottles of Holy Spirit, big chunk of Ghost Rock, even bigger chunk of Death Rock, and a water canteen and a ball of matches. and my burlap bag and say, okay, I'm ready.
Well, give me a moment to change. If I'm going to be the one going into the room, I should look the part.
Absolutely. We should definitely go quick before anybody gets there.
Of course. And Lester will go pull his clothes out that he's had hidden away this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
His nice gentleman of adventure outfit.
Yep. Fancy hat.
Yep. Fancy hat's coming back.
Put out the clean hat. That's how important this is.
Yay!
Putting on a clean hat. There it is.
Wunderbar.
It was briefly a hat of invisibility. Ah, I love it. Yep, that is a glorious hat.
There we go.
And it is a hat of invisibility on occasion.
All dependent on where I am compared to my camera, I guess.
Yes.
So, yes, Lester will D&D on back up and gather the key from Irene. Let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Okay, so you guys should probably drop me off at one side of Tombstone and then go around the other way. I'll give you a little while to get where you're going. And then I'll be Act 1.
All right, so before we actually step into this, I'm going to need you to kind of just lay out the steps of this plan. Just so I know the right order to have everybody go in.
All Bang's doing is walking into town fulminating. He's going to be in full oratory mode as Brother Angus, with special effects provided by the things I'm carrying.
Okay.
That is my plan. And then, yes, we are layers of distraction. We are a distraction onion, this group. So after that, then next is downstairs at the hotel, main floor of the hotel, Amanda, right?
No, I
Or
thought the
is-
next one was
Is Irene next?
is Amanda and Irene going to get the clothes?
I think we
Right.
need to get the clothes first, because how long is Bang going to be able to hold their attention?
It depends on whether or not the sheriff feels he needs to get involved in whatever Bang's doing.
Yes.
So not very long, okay?
So relatively quickly. So we need to get the clothes first, and then Bang's distraction, and then Amanda Beth's distraction. I actually have to agree with you. I don't know what number 3 is.
Well, the only thing left is for Moses to go upstairs and go in his room to get away from all the craziness that's going on everywhere. It'll be the most natural thing in the world to be fleeing all the madness.
Well, more of a saunter than a flea, but point is well taken.
Well, I know I've been inside and also behind that hotel and watched the staff entrances for hours at a time, so I know how they dress. Which department do you want to be? Housekeeping? Bar staff? The only real difference is how low the blouses are cut.
Well, Irene's used to not wearing a shirt, so...
So, bar staff it is for Irene.
Not that visible at that angle, but you can see it on her figure there. She ain't wearing a shirt.
So, yeah, I can
Well.
describe to them whatever it is the staff wears.
All right, so it sounds like after people are dropped off and such, step 1 is going to be Amanda,
Right.
Beth, and Irene trying to steal clothing from the Sunshine Cleaners.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big place when you get there. Kind of a standard storefront out front, big cheery letters, only starting to fade and peel from the sun. Sunshine Cleaners. If you go inside, of course, it's almost like the cleaning places, dry cleaning places you'd be used to now. There's a big counter, a couple of ladies in nice, crisp, not expensive looking, but definitely very clean. Um, Sort of almost like housemaid staff kind of outfits, looking like people you would give your clothes to if you had money. And so, are you going in the front door? Trying to see what's around back.
I guess Amanda Beth would be going in the front door, trying to talk to whoever's in charge.
Probably worth skipping the back out first, but
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna scope the back out first.
yeah, just check it out and then just see what's going on.
Right. Trying to be stealthy or just sort of circumspect?
Circumspect.
Okay. It's not exactly like they have armed guards protecting people's linens back there. They do have some folks watching, but that's mostly because it's pretty busy. They have a fairly steady influx of clothing being brought over, in baskets or just carried in stacks by people from the various hotels, who go up to. There's kind of another counter in back. A little, they're not dressed quite as nice, but they don't necessarily need to be. They're just staff to staff, and you can watch as people carry their loads up. Sometimes there's a little cart or whatnot, depending on how much they've got to bring over. They'll stop at the counter, just be like, "Hey, this is on the Gold Rush account. This is on the Restful Stay account. This is on the Masterson's account." Just saying, whose linens it is, if they have any any clothes, if they have any special requests, hey, you need to get this blood out. Don't ask about these stains. They just need to come out as fast as possible before Mrs. Masterson gets back into town, that sort of thing. And that's about half of the backspace. The other half is people coming up with empty carts and such, or people who had dropped off a load, stopping on the other side to pick up finished linens and bedding and clothing and uniforms and the like. So it does some pretty brisk business, but it's all, of course, kind of in the back, out of sight, so the people with money aren't bothered by the presence of the help.
Are the people picking up the clean linens wearing a uniform?
Just about everybody is wearing a uniform of some sort, at least for the hotels and such. People who are stopping up. Obviously, they are known to the staff of Sunshine Cleaning.
The people in the back with the carts picking up clean linens in the back.
Yeah, they're getting clean linens. They're dropping off linens, 2 different lines. Sometimes somebody goes from one line to the other. Just, hey, I'm dropping this off and picking up whatever you got clean for us. It's a very efficient, very quickly moving line. Nobody really stops to shoot the shit. Nobody's appears to be malingering all that much. Just people, getting in and out, getting stuff washed as fast as they can. It's very kind of steamy and humid even in the area, even though you're not in the building, just kind of being near the building. You can tell there's they may have tapped an underground well, or they've got something else going on. They've got a lot of water going on in there and a lot of heat, and the boards are a little warped here and there in the back where they don't have to keep things looking as good, and you can see steam sometimes creeping out through cracks.
So sounds like some sort of extra explosion of steam might be a good distraction.
Could be. You won't know till you try.
And what did we have for Irene's living arrangements?
I thought Irene was actually staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
Had the room. She hadn't really fully set up here, even though she's known to be here and do around.
Well, Easiest way to grab stuff is to act like she belongs here, obviously. But if everyone's known to the staff...
Sometimes
she
you
doesn't
just
want
gotta
to
go for it.
get too much of a bad reputation here.
No, Irene doesn't have a bad reputation.
And she doesn't want to get one.
No, doesn't want to get one. Yeah, that makes sense. And you can tell it's mostly just familiarity. You know, the same people for each hotel are generally the people who are the ones, or for each house or whatever, the ones who are dropping off and picking up and such. And while Tombstone's pretty big and bustling, stuff done at this level isn't quite as common as if they had the cheaper laundry.
So, how about change of plan? Irene goes up, inquires about the laundry services for when she gets her own place, and Amanda Beth makes the swipe while people are distracted by that, or while the staff are distracted.
Do you think you can distract a lot of the staff with that question? Because keep in mind, there's front end staff, then there's all the washing staff, and then there's back end, back of the building staff. This is a fairly big operation, a number of people here throughout it. They have to have a number of people to keep up with the volume of laundry that goes through.
Like, this sort of petty theft isn't something she really wants to be associated with, and just pretty high chance of her getting noticed.
Over to you, Amanda Beth.
No, like, if they get there and Amanda Beth realizes this might not be a good idea,
Yeah.
she'll just look to Irene and maybe we need a better plan.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself.
As long as maybe we don't need an outfit for you. As long as Lester's headed in by himself, right? You can be right outside the door then, while I'm keeping everyone distracted downstairs.
Yeah, I'll just keep watch by the stairs or something. Because I don't think we can get these uniforms inconspicuously, as it were. So I guess we'll head back to Lester.
Yeah, we'll head back to meet up with Lester without the outfits.
All right.
Doesn't take long. You just head in. Yep.
So y'all reconvene. Does anybody letting Bang know he needs to hold off, or are you just letting the Bang thing happen and you're just kind of rolling with it on this new timetable of step 1, Bang does his thing, step 2, wing it.
I've been sitting here for about 2 minutes, and in my head, Bang is going, they've had lots of time. I'm just going to go. But
yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, in that case, if nobody's going to be offended by it, then yeah. They must have their outfits by now. And here we go. And I sneak into town first, get as near as I can to the main square. Is there a fountain or water source there? Somewhere in the square?
No.
No, okay.
No,
in that case, I got my, that's all good. I got my canteen. It's all good. And in the back alley just off the square, you see Bang sort of stand up straighter than, if you could see him, you'd see him stand up straighter than he ever has before and kind of rock his head back and forth and mutter a couple of words deep in his
You're already
throat.
getting looks because somebody wearing a potato sack.
Oh, yeah.
And carrying a heavy backpack is, even for, the people who've gone crazy from Ghost Rock and everything. It's people are already starting to kind of slow and sort of watch, because this is promising to be street theater and free entertainment no matter how it goes.
We got to give them what they're asking for. Look at the very closest one. What are you looking at, you wee prick? Get out of the way. Look out. And I just push him aside and step out into the open space and just start, I'm not going to yell, but just at the top of their lungs. Fornicators and adulterers, all of you, you're fecking all over the place. You're fecking people you shouldn't be fecking, and they're not happy about it. This is not gonna last. This is gonna be Sodom and Gomorrah level shit around here. Let me show you just the slightest example of what I mean. And I pull out one of the bottles of fire or Holy Spirit and just throw it and smash it against the side of hopefully like a saloon or a brothel, something of ill repute, and have that whole section of it turned to stone. That's like my first action.
All right. So give me a. Do you have a like shooting or anything that you think you could that would work for this, or are you just going
I have
straight
throwing.
agility? Oh, throwing? Yeah. Give me that
Throwing.
throwing roll.
4. 1 success. I mean, I'm hitting the building.
1 success.
Yeah.
All right. So it wobbles a little bit, and for just a moment, there's the worry that it's actually going to fall just short, and you're going to have a lot of people with stone ankles who are very upset.
Yep.
But nope, it shatters against the wall, thankfully not anywhere near a window, and the process begins a little slower than normal since the wall is kind of painted, but it doesn't take long before the calcification process starts in, and there's the creaking, like there's very distinctive sound from it, sort of a crackling, creaking. And before you can go on, however, you hear from the edge of the crowd, hey, is that why we've got statues showing up in our alleys?
You're damn straight. It's the wrath of God it is. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to light a piece of ghost rock. I just want the screamy sound. Just like the sound of the voices of hell in my hand. Yep.
Okay. You can do that. Nobody's eager to get near you at the moment, but also not a lot of people are moving away.
Nope.
Because this is entertainment.
Absolutely. Yep. And then
All right, so you light the ghost rock, and it starts screaming its head off, just like that friggin' screaming son from Rick and Morty. Just,
yeah. And then as I start fulminating and walking again right towards the center of the thing, while I'm using my other hand to unscrew the top of my canteen.
Okay.
It's time now. It's time to show you what I mean. Imagine, if you will, a gas that would turn you to wee stone like that. I'm not going to do that to you now, but take this as a warning. And I throw the piece of burning ghost rock inside the canteen, quarter twist on the lid, and throw it out in the middle of the square.
All right, people kind of know what's going to happen here because folks are familiar with what ghost rock does.
Yep.
And everybody scatters for cover. The canteen does explode. It just like swells, makes some distressed, under stress metal noises before finally just exploding like a poorly directed claymore.
Yes.
All right, give me evens or odds.
Evens. For the first time ever.
Okay, oddly enough, nobody is actually damaged by the shrapnel.
Excellent.
It must be an actual miracle.
It's an act of
possibly
God.
God going. I really think let this go. But some windows are broken. Metal is stuck into walls. There's people peeking out of the bars and brothels when like what the hell is going on, and a very ruffled looking deputy who appears to have been used as a body shield by a lady of beans.
Yep.
Whether he wanted to be or not, struggles to his feet and is like, you're going in for disturbing the peace. And starts storming toward you.
I grab another bottle of the Holy Spirit and I hold it by like a club. Like I'm holding the neck with the bottle down here. You have just challenged the very authority of God. And wrong voice. Okay, I screwed it up. And I knew I was going to screw it up, so I screwed up. Bang screws up. And then the wrong voice says that. You have challenged the authority of God. And dives forward Like I'm going to, I don't intend to, but I want to scare him off into thinking that I'm going to hit him with this and turn him into stone.
For a moment, he's actually kind of like, "Wait, weren't you Irish?" And then, like
Scottish,
like,
you
"Oh
wee
shit!"
prick! Now I'm really going to hit you.
And goes for his gun.
Okay.
And while he's going for his gun,
Yep.
to the other crew.
Yes.
Right. I don't know where Amanda and Irene are, but I was imagining I would already be in the saloon waiting for them.
They come back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You might have time for a drink or two to case see what's going on. And there are a couple games going on, a couple different poker games. One game of Pharaoh, as well. But it's fairly still early in the day. Night has not fallen, so the game, nothing really taking off. This is kind of a lull time. You can see there, got people behind the bar, polishing glasses, setting things up, checking stock, just getting ready for the real evening rush. You'll have a lady who's clearly both tending and for hire stop by your table, offer drinks and services, fairly standard.
Okay. At this point, I'm simply waiting for the other two to show. I want to stay at a point where I keep an eye on the stairs going up and down to where the rooms are. I do not recall, did the key have a room number on it?
302.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
That means it's going to be on the third floor.
Mm-hmm. And while you're waiting, it doesn't take long for Amanda, Beth, and Irene to join you. But in that time, you do see people go up and come down. None of them look like Honest John. Just fairly standard. Some high rollers going up, staff going up and down, but really nobody that stands out is, glaring neon sign involved with the big bad.
Are they escorted at all? Do I see anyone?
No,
Right.
no escorts. If you look like you get the feeling this is one of those places where if you look like you belong and you have money, they're not going to bother you unless you make you give them a reason to bother you.
That's exactly what I wanted to confirm. All right, then. At this point, I can simply relax, have a bit of whiskey as I wait for the ladies and for Bang to do whatever it is that Bang's going to do to draw attention.
Yeah. Well, the ladies show up just before Bang starts his thing. Bang gave them some time, and of course, it didn't take very long for them to realize that the whole uniform thing wasn't going to pan out. So you've got a little time before before Tombstone gets banged.
A very loud noise to let you know when it started too. So there is quite literally a bang.
All right, so Amanda, Beth, Irene, you step in and you see Moses at his table, glass of whiskey, definitely looking like he fits in with the clientele, very relaxed.
It is.
Yeah. Amanda Beth is gonna sit down. I'm sorry to bother you, sir. Have you seen anything peculiar happen around here at all? Trying to ask in code if Bang has started.
Nothing out of sorts for Tombstone.
All right. I will say there is some difficulty in our plan, but and she's Elizabeth is trying to like pay attention to everything around her at this moment, and trying not to make it obvious that like, they know each other. So we might be having to plan B.
And is Irene with you?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say unless
okay.
Irene decided to go do something
I was
else.
like, I was like, did Irene abandon me? Which would make sense.
Yeah.
But
No, Irene's just off
Had an
at a
attack
different
of
floor.
conscience.
Well then,
Irene's
I like
just
the
off
idea.
window.
I like the idea of a plan B. Lester stands, puts an arm around both of them, and starts heading for the stairs.
all right, this works then.
Nice. Yep. And just as you reach the bottom of the stairs, you hear the boom from outside.
Yep.
And everybody besides y'all, unless you're really going for the big sell on it, everybody else is like, what the hell was that? And you got people rushing to the windows and folks, scrubbing their cards from the game to go check and see what's happening, because it could be interesting, could be dangerous to everybody. That's kind of life in the Deadlands, especially in a place like Tombstone.
Could be just Tombstone.
Could be just Tombstone.
I'll pause as soon as we hear the sound, look around, see what everybody else is doing.
Sounds like there's some sort of bang out there.
Cock my head to one side like I'm listening. They just might be dynamiting at the mine, and continue walking, heading to 302.
All right. Irene, pull a chip for that masterful little drop there. I like it. While that's happening, you get upstairs pretty easily. You're stopped once on the second floor, but it's just by staff who's just like, hey, you know what's happening out there? I heard that big boom.
There's something going on outside, but haven't heard anything else. So it could just be the working on the mine, or I don't know, something out going on the street.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry for bothering you, sir. You and you ladies have a nice time. And Stafford wanders off. When you get to the third floor stairs go up onto a landing before leading to the rooms. And on the landing, you're pretty sure he's human. But he's huge. Wearing what looks like it could have been several uniforms that had been cut apart and put back together to fit this brick wall of a man who appears to probably be a bouncer muscle for the high rollers, just making sure the riffraff stays out. And you definitely look like you belong, but hasn't seen you come up this way just yet. So he puts out a hand that looks big enough to palm your skull, just about. Says in a
Before he says a word, I reach into my vest pocket, pull out the key.
Just gives you a thumbs up and an approximation of a bow. He's a little clumsy and not great at it, but when you're really just paid to, throw people back down the stairs with maximum force, you don't need to be all that great at bowing and genuflection, and just waves you back, waves you on. You just had the right air about you.
And continue. I'm glancing at the doors, so I'm not obviously looking at them, but I need to figure out which one is the right door so I can turn appropriately when I get to it.
Yep. Well, it doesn't take you long. From the landing, there's pretty much just a straight hallway down. The doors are spaced fairly wide because they're larger, suite style rooms. There's 301 on the left. 302 comes up on the right pretty shortly after. It looks like there are only 2 or 3 doors further down. And at the very end of the hallway, you see some very, very like red velvet covered double doors, gaudy gold, flowy sort of handles on them. pretty much just screams, the presidential suite, or at least their version of it.
Glance down at my key one more time, make sure I'm going to the right room.
You are going to the right room. There's 302.
All right. I'll casually unlock the door.
All right, you unlock the door, swing it open. It's a very, very nice room, the kind of room that after your luck turned around, as it were, and you started really having that success that had been so long denied you, Lester definitely treated himself to more than once when the cards were kind. Big king-style bed in the center of the room, 4-poster California king almost style, big enough to sleep 4 or 5 people, maybe more if they're feeling extra friendly. Once again, it's not like the sort of understated wealth statement that you would expect from a establishment of long standing. This is more of that, tasseled gold frogging and red velvet and brushed brass and just really eye-punching, trying to scream wealth and class, and in so doing, really just screaming, I have more money than I know what to do with, and I have no taste. There's some... Oh, go ahead.
As soon as the door is open, I take a half step back and slap the 2 ladies through the door.
Oh,
Irene's hand automatically goes towards one of her guns.
And Elizabeth's hand immediately goes to stop her. And just playing the part. I know you're new to this, but that's not yet.
Oh, so we stab him later. Okay.
Exactly. Remember what he asked for.
all right. When you get in the room, close the door up. There's...
No offense was intended, but we needed to sell the act.
Yeah, that's what you're
There-
selling.
2 doors on either side to the left and the right of the room. One of them is open and looks like it leads to a darkened bathroom. The other one might be a closet. You'll have to inspect to see. There's some dressers, one big mirror, wash basin. Everything is very very neat. You don't see any clothes out. The bedding isn't wrinkled. Might have been turned down recently. It's hard to tell, but it really doesn't feel like people have been in here all that much. Or if they are, they're incredibly fastidious.
Go ahead and spread out. Start looking for anything that can give us a clue. Don't go anywhere that it's dark. Take a light in with you. Make sure there are no shadows.
All right.
And while they do that, I'm going to move over to the windows.
All right. There are 2 kind of big bay windows almost.
What side of the building does this face? Does it face the street? Does it face an alley?
These windows actually face out behind the building, but there's really nothing to really spoil the view unless you look straight down. You can see, some of the smaller houses and shacks fairly straight down, but otherwise it's a really kind of nice view of the distant mountains, the plains, the sort of open baked scrubland.
Does it have a walkway outside of the windows that goes around the building, or
It does not. These
No
are
walkways.
just no walkways. No. Well, it's got kind of a little balcony, but it's its own little balcony. 1 or 2 people can go out there and stand, but if you do go and look out, the rooms to either side of you, unless you're superhuman or you've somehow managed to, like Spider-Man or Batman, swing your way over, you're not going to be able to have an easy time of going room to room.
and how far down the hallway was that presidential suite?
A presidential suite was there are 2 rooms pretty much it goes 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306, and the presidential suite. So there are only 6 real high roller rooms available. And like I said, each room is fairly sizable. So it's a ways down.
All right. Well, I will step out on the balcony.
Okay.
Just casually lean against it, turn and look around. How high up is the roof from the balcony?
The roof is, I'd say, about 10, 12 feet. 12 feet up. You've definitely got some clearance upwards in the rooms too. They're not quite like cathedral ceilings, but it definitely, they went for trying to maximize the feel of space in the limited space with the rooms.
All right.
The roof, from what you can see, is fairly flat. You know, doesn't get a ton of rainfall out here. So it's not like, you know, with the overhanging shingles and everything. It's just you look up and there's an edge.
All right. I need to think a little bit on this, so give the ladies some time to see what they can find in the room.
All right. Before we go back to the ladies and search in the room,
Yep.
Bang.
Yes.
The deputy.
Yep.
Because of your good call on the dice, the deputy actually like fumbles his gun, drops it, kicks it out of the way. It's almost like a Three Stooges-esque comedy of errors on his part as he scrambles to avoid you braining him with the bottle.
Yep.
Nobody seems interested in stepping in to assist him in this, of course. People just kind of spread out and around as you move through the crowd. You know, kind of like a deranged potato sack wearing shark going
Yep.
through a swarm of minnows.
And I switch the hands, and I'm holding now the Holy Spirit club in my left hand, because in my right hand I reach back into that bag, and I pull out the ball of matches, 100 wooden matches all in a ball.
Yep.
And I strike it against my hip. All right, you wee pricks. That was the brimstone. Here's the fire that goes with it. And I roll it into the nearest looking flammable shop.
Oh no.
Chaotic good. If there was alignments in this game, anything to achieve the goal. So yeah, hopefully people will get out. But yeah.
All right.
And then in that moment of hopefully terror that I've caused, I'm going to flee. I'm going to run for all I'm worth down the nearest hallway or alleyway.
All right. Well, you actually managed to throw that giant wad of burning displeasure
Yes.
through the
Good old sulfur matches.
just
Yeah.
opportune moment. Double doors swing open as somebody steps out to hear what
Thank you.
what all the fuss is. They
Saloon.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight into a saloon.
Oh,
One person
yes.
just going.
Oh,
And of
yes.
course, you hear some panic yelling from inside. Somebody's like, "I got it!" And then you hear a bigger whoomp as
Yes.
somebody forgot they weren't drinking water
Yep.
and tried to pour it and pull it out, or put the fire
Oh,
out.
Perfect.
There's kind of a whoomp, some panic. You can see the start of flickering fire in the windows,
Oh, yeah.
and you're just
Fire,
trying to
brimstone,
book
and a
it.
fleing monk.
All right,
In God we
give me-
trust. Back in Bang's voice as I run up. Yeah.
All right, people aren't moving out of your way as much anymore. They're in part because they're kind of packed, in part because it seems like maybe the entertainment's over. So give me an agility roll to try and get through the crowd.
Yeah. That's one of those.
Unless you've got a skill or something you think.
I
would
was thinking
cover this a
stealth, but
little
I'm
better.
not sneaking, so it doesn't matter. Agility's good anyway. Ooh, especially when it explodes. 15.
Wow. All right. So
just shy of 4 successes.
3 successes. All right.
3 successes.
Some people do
totally.
even like reach out and try and stop you. None of them are successful in that. You dodge, you weave, you duck, you push, you trip a little. You know, give
I'm
people a
too
little-
holy for your touch, too holy for your touch, too holy by much.
All right, you get a Benny for that, but you're not allowed to do it again. That aside, you definitely
Benny,
make
okay.
it out, and you're fleeing. You got
Yeah,
your
I'm gone. That's
your
done.
ship,
I'm done. I pulled the plug on my own scene.
All right, and curtain on fire. Curtain. All right. So, Irene and Amanda, you're searching. Do you have any skills you feel you could use for this, or are you just gonna do like give me a straight smarts?
I got notice.
All right, I would go with you got notice if you wanna. You go with that. Give me notice, and of course your wild die.
Yeah, I have noticed, but
All right.
technically my smarts is higher.
Yeah, I have
And the
survival,
wild-
but it's lower.
And the wild die is
D6 always.
a D6. Okay.
Yep.
I got 2 3s.
I got a 6. Oh wait, that explodes.
Yep.
And a 2. So 8.
So 8. So 2 successes. All right, Amanda, you just you're poking around, but nothing's really standing out to you. Just no goodies, and you find folded clothes in the drawers. No underwear, surprisingly. Lots of pants and shirts and everything, but even some really nice silk socks. No underwear. And luggage in the closet. And we're gonna say Amanda was checking the closet. Irene, when you step into the bathroom, you find that while the bathroom is also generally scrupulously clean, Jesus Christ, I can speak. The bathtub appears to be full of dirt or mud. And there's like almost like a semi-dried crust over the top of it.
Is there a fireplace in this room?
There's not a
In the
fireplace
suite?
in the bathroom. No.
In the suite.
Oh, in the suite? No. There's also not a fireplace in the suite. It's Tombstone. They make do with some lamps when they need it and lots of blankets.
Anything else you could use as a poking stick?
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Butter your rifle?
All right.
She's not carrying that into the saloon. That'll be too.
When you think about it, you remember that there was it looks like one of the fancy canes that the leech person had, leaning kind of near the doorway to the bathroom.
She'll grab that and gingerly poke at the crust in the tub.
Ugh. All right, you poke at the crust and it splits pretty easily. It's just a little bit of dried mud on the top. And when it splits, it stinks like peat and rot and old blood. It's a fairly nasty smell. Nothing stirs at the poke, nothing jumps out of the mud to attack you, but it definitely is not something you feel you want to touch barehanded.
Yeah, the other two are just gonna hear her say, "Oops," and probably in short order start smelling it.
Yep, the stink just kind of flows through the room. It's not so bad because Lester opened the windows, thankfully, but it's not long before both Amanda Beth and Moses. Let's stick with and Moses get a whiff of that nasty, like, decomposing body in a muddy bog smell.
Oof. Now, what in tarnation is that?
That's a bathtub.
The bathtub.
Yeah.
how about we close that door before that smell gets out of this room when somebody comes knocking to find out what that smell is.
It's bad, but it doesn't seem like it's like going to necessarily leak into the other rooms unless you like really close the windows and let it pile up for a while. It's just unpleasant, and you get the feeling that some of that unpleasantness had been just sort of storing up under that crust.
Okay. So when we leave here, we should close the window and the door and make sure that smell is permeating the whole room.
So you're leaving the bathroom, Irene?
Yeah, she needs to escape that smell.
All right, as soon as you turn around, go ahead and I heard that thumb.
Let's grab my dice.
Good call. Good call. Give me another notice roll.
It's a 5.
5. All right, so you got 1 success. So you're a little warned. Like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up as soon as you turn away and start to step out, and maybe you hear a noise just somewhere behind you, just a bit of a wet, gooey, slurpy noise.
Oh.
Before that's not gonna hit. Okay, so they don't have the best aim. Let's do this one. Nope. And this one. God, my dice have betrayed me. But it's better for you. 3 tiny little, like, sort of child-sized leech people launch themselves out of the mud. And like fling themselves through the air with surprising ups for things that don't have bones. But all of them sort of miss. Like none of them manage to cling to you. One flops and sort of bounces off your shoulder. The other one just sort of slaps into your back but doesn't catch hold. It's a little stunned. And the third one goes right past you out into the room.
Ah, shit, there's babies!
And let's go ahead and just so we don't have to worry about cards for this one, we're going to give Irene the first action. And then we're going to have Moses with the next action, then Amanda, then the leech children. The leechlings.
Children of the leech.
Yeah, assuming she is aware of the gold thing from before. I think Amanda Beth shouted that out last time.
Yep, Amanda Beth did shout out about the gold weakness.
What would it be to throw a handful of gold coins from her pocket?
That would be throwing if you have it.
No.
Otherwise, it's going to be a straight agility roll at -1.
Ooh, agility I can do. Agility I have a 10, or a D10. That's a 4 on the D6.
4, so -1.
No,
So,
that's not a success. Let's you can have a red chip, or I have a red chip. I have 2 red chips.
Okay, can use a red. All right.
That's not better. That came up as a 1 and a 2.
Oof. Well, unless you want to chip one more time.
Yeah, I'll throw my second blue chip out.
All right.
That exploded. So that's 20 minus 1. My D10 exploded.
All right. So, for those watching, the leech people or leech kids go just like pretty much bounce off of Irene and end up mostly in the room. Irene digs into a pocket, grabs some gold dollar coins, yeets them just like shrapnel, like a shotgun blast of money at one of the leech kids. Totally misses that leech kid. Terrible. It's like that leech kid was blessed by a higher power or something, because all the coins, even though he was the closer one, completely miss it. But the one past him catches all the ricochet from the coins, and it's just oh, bow, 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 and there's some piteous, high-pitched but not very loud sort of squealing noises as the coins sink into its kind of gooey, pliable, Play-Doh-like body, and it falls flat to the floor, just sort of thrashing weakly before going still. Moses.
All right. From where I'm at by the door, by the windows, then all I see is the one come out.
Well, you see one come out pretty decently, and that's the one that was scythed down by the coin rebound. Then you see one that's fairly close in front of Irene. That's the one that bounced off of Irene's shoulder. Just sort of clipped it and spun into the room, which is why it's a miracle that it wasn't the one that was hit by all the change. You can't really see the one that bounced off her back. You might not even know it's there, but there's definitely one in the room that survived the whole change barrage.
Amanda, how do these things handle sunlight?
You recall they're not a fan. I'm still giving it to you from your roll, your occultism roll or whatever from last week. They do not like sunlight. It dries them out pretty quickly, burns their skin.
All right. With that, then, because I have the windows open behind me, I pull out my whip and I'm gonna try and grab this one that I can see by Irene and pull it out the window.
Oh, we're going Indiana Jones on it. All right, give me the roll.
Yeah. And that is my, I believe, melee, yes?
Yeah, that would still be melee.
Or fighting, excuse me.
Fighting, yeah.
Which I'm actually somewhat decent at. 4.
A 4? That is, that's just good enough. It's still disoriented from bouncing off Irene, and kind of surprised that it survived all the money being thrown at it. So you get that whip out, you snap it around the middle of it, and you're giving it just that yank.
Yep, just that yank and trying to throw it out the window.
All right, so you snap it back over your shoulder, get it whipping out there, and you hear just this plaintive, pained little...
Oh, well.
And it's like shrivels in the sun as it just goes... And before it hits the ground, it looks kind of like a banana that you forgot that you had in the pantry for like 2 months. Just this shriveled brown, horrible, gooey thing that lands with a splat. And you hear outside somebody go, "Hey! Don't throw your shit out the window! Use the bathroom like a civilized man!" Amanda Beth, you were witness to all this, and from your being able to look out from the closet, you can see behind Irene on the floor, kind of seen between her legs, the last leech person, like leech child, leechling, whatever you want to call it, just kind of shaking its little pseudo head and getting up off the floor.
Yeah, Amanda Beth doing what she does best, walking over. Now, either you can have the same fate, or you can tell us where Honest John is.
Do you have persuasion? Anything like that?
I do have persuasion.
All right, give me that roll. Add a +2 for,
Okay. I got 2 5s.
2 5s. All right, so you got 1 success. That's good enough. It's a leech child. It appears to peer up at you. You can't really tell; it doesn't have eyes exactly, but it scratches the top of its head, mouth thing, and then just goes, in a tiny little voice, just like, we was just hatched like 2 days ago. We've just been in the mud. They've been our I guess parents isn't exactly it, but they who laid us, we're bringing back food for us and putting in the mud so we could grow big and strong. They're dead, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They messed with the wrong people and signed with the wrong people. I'm sorry.
It's attempting to make sniffling noises. It doesn't have a nose, so that doesn't work very well. But you can kind of, you get the feeling that you know what it's trying to do. Yeah, it just kind of plops down on the floor again. Just, you gonna kill me?
Are you gonna attack us?
Probably. It's in my nature. Y'all are food. Really tasty looking.
Thing would adopt it.
I don't mean nothing by it. It's just gotta eat.
What if we could get you to help us? We feed you and you help us.
You gonna feed me?
I mean, wouldn't be that difficult, right? There's plenty of drunk people out there who aren't gonna notice maybe pot and blood being missing, but only a little bit. We don't go and killing people.
But I suppose moderation's better than burning to death. So what kind of help you need?
Well, you see, the people that laid you signed up with a real bad man named Honest John.
I don't know who that is.
He's a real bad man.
Okay. Why is he bad?
He hurts people for a living and enjoys doing it too. You see, he hurt my brother. And she's gonna, while she's talking, is getting down to like get eye level with this child.
Irene's reaching in her pocket for more gold.
Oh yeah, please do. And just saying this, but you look like you're egg layers, I guess, right? So maybe if you grow big and strong, I don't know much about your people and how fast you grow, but maybe you can get us to talk to them.
Talk to my people? Or talk to
Maybe your people or maybe someone who might know.
We're not really. It's obviously definitely more advanced than a child would be of that size, but still seems like it's inexperienced, like grasping for the right thing to say. We're not really like a tribe or anything, like a people. So like, I don't. This is a terrible place for us. I don't even know why they who laid us were decided to have us here. This is really dry and unpleasant. I mean, I could try, but it's going to be a while before I'm big, especially if I have to moderate my feeding. So what I think I could do for y'all is, we're gonna go with Amanda Beth here, the now classic odds or evens.
Yes.
Even.
All right, so you're obviously expecting this little thing to launch at your face or your neck meets, something like that. Instead, when it launches for they got indoor plumbing in here, and it launches for the toilet. Just jumping up and trying to drop feet first into it. I'll give you and Irene each one reaction action to do whatever it is you're going to try and do.
I'm actually going to throw it over to Moses, because the minute it tries to run, Amanda Beth is going to yell over to Moses, grab him, or see if he can do
Grab
the
it.
same trick with the whip again. Enough.
All right, so give me, that's going to be since you got the first action on this one, that's going to be a grapple roll to try and grab it. It's slippery and muddy. So if you don't have fighting, you're going to have to do straight strength.
Or you could use the whip again.
Well, Lester's still out by the windows. This was all right by the bathroom, sort of in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he'd have to, I mean, you can let him try if you want, but he'd have to weave that whip between both of you and try and snag it.
Let's see.
I'm decent, but I'm not good.
Oh, I got a 3 and a 1.
Nope, unless you're willing to chip it.
Yeah, I'll just chip it.
All right.
Chip it good. Do 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 do. And it worked in
I'm
chat too.
gonna
That
use a
was like a
white
double
chip.
entendre. That was beautiful. Oh.
Okay. White chips will just give you a straight reroll.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. So 4.
One success.
One success. All right, so you get your hands around it, and it gets to resist. Let's see if it can outroll you.
Pretty.
All right, so you do get a grip on it for a moment, but it's still pretty muddy and wriggly. And you know those water toys they had, the ones that are like, it's got water and it's a tube, and when you hold them, they roll. It's kind of like squeezing one of those. You grab, you squeeze a little bit, and it just, whoop, or like a cartoon banana, just shooting straight out of your hands. Not necessarily where it was aiming to go, almost straight up because of the way you grabbed it. People tend to grab like this, so just boop. So Irene, you got a shot at knocking it out of the air, doing something.
Gonna flick another gold coin at it.
All right.
That's a 5. -1, I assume again.
Yep, -1.
So 4 is still a success.
4 is still one success. So before Lester needs to try and whip it out of the air, it makes the dive. Amanda Beth grabs it, squirts it straight up, bloop, like wet soap in the shower, just pew. And this time, Irene is just like, yeah, and makes that noise whether you actually did or not, because I made it, and it's now canon. The coin slams into it, slices right through it like hot butter, and just it makes a weird, angry little sound. Doesn't quite explode exactly, but there's goop all over the room now, as well as the horrible stinky mud, and just hits the floor, flops like a landed trout for a few moments, and then goes still.
Yeah, hey Lester, check that thing out the window.
I'm not
Don't trust
entirely,
it. It's probably playing dead.
I'm not entirely sure there's enough of it left to chuck out the window after that.
If it was able to flop like a trout.
Just put salt on it. It's a leech. Right?
I mean, if you want to scoop up what remains, it's
Lester's going to just pull his knife out, and go over, and pick it up with the knife. He's not going to touch it.
It's like trying to pick up Jello with a knife. You stab and you lift, and it just.
Yeah, it's definitely dead.
Okay.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
Tits.
I mean, I gave it a choice.
That you did. That you did. Right then. Nothing in here that can help us get to John.
Just another dead end.
Literally.
Not entirely. I'm willing to bet everything that John owes us. He's down in that room right down there at the end of the hallway. Now the question is, how many more of these are there between us and him?
So, if we know where his room is, can we leave him a bottle of that Holy Spirit, saying compliments to the house?
That all depends on whether or not we can get to Bing before Bing ends up dangling from a rope.
That one seems a little slipperier. I can't do that in that accent. Then these leeches.
I mean, if we could get somebody out to my brother fast enough, we could have one of those bottles by the end of the day.
Well then,
Did we set a rendezvous point for afterwards? Oh, we're not gonna be able to find Bang.
We have a pla, because we didn't even have an end for it.
I mean, hopefully he goes back to our friend Henry, right? That house?
I mean,
That's still.
we left some Holy Spirit with him too, didn't we?
With Hank? Yeah.
Hank, that's it. I said Henry. It's Hank.
Technically, it's
Well,
the same name, yeah.
We're going to call him Hangry now. Yep.
Yeah.
Hankry.
well then, I think that is going to be our best option. Because otherwise, the only thing that comes to mind is to walk down that corridor and kick the door in and see who starts shooting first.
I mean, I haven't heard any reports of him being in town. There might not be anyone in that room right now.
He might not be here yet. They may have been using shadow magic to get back to him.
Someone was stealing the shadows.
That was him. I know that for a fact. Those leech things told me that.
Right. That means he's in town. So therefore, I do think the compliments of the house will be our best option. Besides, I do enjoy the irony that a man with a heart of stone becomes stone himself.
But could we get others hurt while doing that?
My initial response to that is if they are in league with Honest John, well then the good Lord will sort them out. But then I recalled at one point in time we were in league with Honest John.
Exactly.
Well, I say we get back together at Hank's and figure this out. Because I doubt any of us are going to get close enough to make sure that Honest John is the only one who partakes of this particular spirit.
All right. Irene and I will leave first. You stay here a bit longer, all right?
Well, before the two of you leave, and I step up to both of them, I take off Elizabeth's hat, and I start messing up their hair.
I was just thinking something like that.
Yeah. Making sure they're well
Or, don't mess
tousled.
up her own hair. Probably pocket her hair tie.
There we go. Now you look properly disheveled.
All right. Well, then Irene and Amanda Beth leave, and as they're passing the giant bouncer, he puts a hand out for a moment and just says, "Normally, I don't ask this." And a very deep, like cavernous voice was like, "Did I hear a whip?"
Let me just tell you from experience, sir. Some clients you just don't ask.
Well,
You pay for the full experience.
And she just kind of leans in. He locked it real rough.
Bouncer's kind of blushing a little bit at that point. Like
Mm.
he was expecting possibly a different answer, maybe not. Blushing, a little afraid, little intrigued, but just kind of waves you on at that. It's just
Yeah.
like, I can't continue this conversation. Y'all gotta go. And when
Bye.
Lester eventually leaves, he's gonna get a bit of a look.
If only he knew he could limp.
That
Well,
said,
Lester's going to try and clean the room out a little bit while they're gone.
good call, good call.
Mm.
So Lester,
see if
it's
Benny's
your
involved.
turn to give me a notice roll, and give it to me at +2.
Yeah, plus
While you're
2.
cleaning up.
Would he be able to recover any of the gold?
Oh yeah, he can scoop up all your money. Whether he tells you he has it or not, that's a total different thing. But
I know where it came from. With the plus 2, that's a 13, good sir.
oh, nice. So 3 successes, very nice. You, while you're kind of cleaning up, you get a weird sense that you need to kind of poke around in the closet. Almost like there's a spirit or something giving you a little nudge. Like fate has decided to intervene just a touch. Or that, Amanda Beth just can't search for crap.
It's
Either
the
way.
second.
It's the second. I like it. You dig around in there a little bit. You find a lot of expensive clothes that won't fit you. But you also find in a small case, shoved inside a larger case, what looks like an old and very ornate, almost like a compact, like a clamshell. It's definitely got a patina on it. Like it's gold. That much is clear, but it's old gold, and nobody's really tried to shine it up. There are almost I wouldn't call them hieroglyphs, almost like runes. Doesn't make any sense to you, but they form a really ornate picture on the top of the compact, which is currently closed.
Maybe don't open it.
Well, I do have some skill in the arcane and the occult.
You do. So, give me a roll if you wanna. If inquiring minds want to know.
Cultify
Which
yourself.
would you prefer, my knowledge occult or my arcane magic?
Like, give me the arcane magic roll first.
Fighting this would be a bad.
Wild dice don't explode, so 9.
Still very good. That's enough to you get the sense that just from looking at it and sort of you can see almost like where how it had been gripped, that if you open it, you don't want to actually open it towards yourself.
I have a feeling I understand what this might be. I'm quite certain my friend Hank would be wanting to get this back as I stick it in my pocket.
All right. So you pocket the compact, clean up the room as best you can. There's
Put the case
nothing
back.
you can there's nothing you can do for that bathtub. But maybe you'll be coming back to the room, maybe you won't. You don't really know how long they have this room for.
Nope. But I will take the key with me when I leave.
Might be useful for accessing the other room.
And with that, you don't find anything else in the room. It's just really, once again, just a lot of expensive clothes and what had been the nest. And you head out. You get that look from the bouncer.
We'll be walking with a limp.
Okay.
One hand on my hip as I'm walking.
Once again, the bouncer's like, I normally don't do this, but what was it worth it? You beat the fuck up.
Then it was worth it.
All right. Have a nice day, sir. Or evening.
And limp down the stairs.
Limp down the stairs. Limp out the door. Unless are you stopping at the front desk for anything?
No need to stop at the desk.
Good call. All right. Well, then you.
I will stop at the front desk.
Okay.
That tub doesn't look like the housekeeping's been touching it. It needs to be cleaned out.
Oh.
Our staff is normally very meticulous, sir. I'm very sorry. What room are you staying in?
302.
302. Okay. Flip through some papers real quick. It's like, are you rescinding the request that we not clean the room then? Because we were told when the room was booked not to clean it unless we get a request.
Consider this your request.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We will get right on that.
And limp out the door.
All right. And then you're heading to Hank's house?
Heading to Hank's.
Mm-hmm.
Bang, where are you headed? I had no plan to go to Hank's. I want to go outside of town, make sure I get away from everybody. I want to test it first and pour a little bit of the Holy Spirit onto sand by the road. Does it turn it into rock?
No.
Okay.
No, the sand just kind of gets damp.
Okay. In that case, I want to find, are there cacti around? Multiple cacti?
Of course there are cacti.
I figured. So I want to find one that I can just reach the top of and very carefully pour out one of the bottles on it. So there's a little stone cactus there. Then I'm going to go find other cactus, pull off my burlap thing, get the water. I got MacGyver, so squeeze the water out of the cactuses into the burlap bag and then squeeze it out of the bag into the bottle. So I have a liter of water, and then that leaves me with 2 liters of the Holy Spirit, 1 liter of water, and a damp robe, and a stone cactus, and then I'm gonna sit beside the road because I was waiting for them to come out of town to go back to camp. So I don't know how long he'd sit there before he went to have a look. Probably no more than an hour or so before. I guess they're in trouble, and then get up and try and sneak back into town. But that's a much better idea, Amethyst. But I didn't think of it, so yeah.
Well, so everybody makes it to Hank's all right, just fine, except for Bang. Bang doesn't show up after about an hour. Hank isn't anywhere to be seen either at the time. It's just, you know how to get into the house, and you have access to the house, so you get in, and no Bang, and then time passes and still no Bang, and time passes and still no Bang.
Well, either Bang is in the Huskow, or he's decided not to rejoin us this time.
I'm fully expecting that he might need a bond amount.
Entirely possible. I'm more concerned about our friend Hank not being here, not showing up.
That is strange. Maybe we should grab that Holy Spirit that we left here and take it back to that hotel.
I'm pulling out of ideas. Irene?
It sounds good to me. And then we're gonna miss Bang again.
Well, I'm coming back into town, so hopefully we'll see each other.
Bang!
Yes.
As you're sneaking back into town,
Yes.
not very well. I mean, give me a stealth roll. Actually, I'm not going to tell you don't do well. I'm going to let your dice tell me
I
you
am
don't do
actually
well.
moderately stealthish, and that's another exploding 9.
Oh,
So
okay.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, actually, no, you do it pretty well. And, there's a kerfuffle in town. Definitely a bucket chain was formed to try and put out the fire in the saloon. There are some deputies out looking around for you, but not finding you, given that the descriptions were mostly, a wild-eyed Scottish
Yes.
person yelling fire and brimstone and wearing a bean sack.
Speaking of
Sorry,
which,
that looks
can
like-
I find a dog and give it the sack?
Of course you can.
Just wrestle with it for a second so it thinks it won, and then let it take it away.
Yep. Definitely you do that. And just as you're getting back towards not quite the middle of town, but
Yeah.
close, you feel a tap on your shoulder and a familiar voice says, you may want to head towards my house. We all need to discuss something. It's Hank,
Yeah.
of course. And just as you guys are loading
you
up
see
with
through my
Holy
amazing
Spirit-
disguise.
you gave your disguise to the dog.
I know. Yeah. Sitting there
Um,
actually looking like Bang for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
just like Bang. And just as you guys are liberating bottles of the Holy Spirit, Hank shows up with Bang in tow, and it's
Nice.
like, things are coming together. We need to talk. And curtain.
Yes. Thank you very much. That was excellent. I love that episode. That was really good. We moved a lot of stuff. We're ready to go. Yep. Everything's in its position. Hats were good. Style, fashion was excellent all around.
Yeah.
And look, even went so far as to have tousled hair. Look at that. Like that is a commitment. Uh,
No.
wow, I thought I'd broken the Sarah before, but I have never made them turn off their camera.
Well, it's not polite to point out somebody's post-whipping hair.
Yeah. Well, thank you, the back of Sarah's hands. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming tonight and playing Amanda. Thank you to Amy for playing Irene for us. Wonderful, marvelous, and magnificent. Lester / Moses, thank you so much, Shadow, for bringing this sort of tiny piece of sanity to this game.
Yes.
And thank you very, very much to the Bat Kyle for keeping up with the cats. That is a tough job. I know, because I do it. So thank you all for being here tonight.
And thank you, sir, for making Bang just such a chaotic treat
Oh,
every time
there's a
you
place.
step into his skin.
I thought he was done tonight. I really thought that sheriff was going to shoot him. All I could do was I was going to smash the bottle on the gun and hopefully turn it to stone. But I thought it was finished. But thank you. Other than that, 2 thank yous left. Thank you to chat. Thank you to all the people. I see one of you, I think, just showed up. But yeah, you just got here. But thank you to all the people that were here all night. Thank you to the ones that just showed up. And thank you to the ones that are going to watch the VOD. Also, thank you to the future people on YouTube who watched all the way to here. Please hit the like button because you watched all the way to here. So hit the button, please. And other than that, Bat Kyle, it's your show. Take us out, if you would, please.
All right. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Thank you to the wonderful cast. And if I can leave you with one thing, let it be our continuing message here at Dirty 20 Gaming. Please be kind.